The Miracle of Hanukkah by Malachi Doyle. Over 2,000 years ago, the Jewish people lived in Judea and Samaria. But a Greek king named Antiochus was hungry for more power. First, he attacked Egypt. Then he sent a fleet of ships to capture the island of Cyprus. And then he turned his attention to Judea and Samaria. "I will not allow you to be Jews any longer," he told the people there. "Instead, you will worship Zeus and the other Greek gods as I do." He put up a statue of himself in the temple and ordered the Jewish people to bow down to it. Most people refused, and this made Antiochus very angry. "I will send in my army to teach you all a lesson," he roared. He called up his fiercest fighting men, and they destroyed much of the city of Jerusalem, killing many thousands of people. "We must protect ourselves, our traditions, and our religion," said a Jewish priest called Mattathias. "We must fight back." So Mattathias' sons, led by Judah Maccabee, formed their own army to stop King Antiochus. There were many more soldiers in the invaders' army than in Judah's, but the Maccabees and their followers fought bravely for 3 long years. Many died and many more were injured, but Judah and his men refused to give up, and at last they drove the attackers back to their homeland. When Judah and his people entered what was left of the temple in Jerusalem, the first thing they did was build a new altar. "We shall relight the flame," said Judah. "Antiochus may have put it out, but we must make sure that from now on it stays alight forever." They tried to find the golden menorah or candle holder, but it had been stolen, so they made a simple oil burner to replace it. "Now we need oil," said Judah, but most of it had been spoiled. They searched, and at last they came across some they could use, but only enough to last a single night. "One night is better than none at all," said Judah, lighting the lamp. The people gathered around to pray, and in this way they rededicated their temple to God. But they were amazed and delighted to find that the tiny amount of oil they had found continued to burn, not just through to the morning, but all the following day and into the night. "How can this be?" said the people. "It is a message from God," said Judah. As word spread, more and more people gathered to watch, to marvel, and to pray. The burner stayed alight not just for 2 nights, not just for 3, but for 8 whole days and 8 whole nights, by which time they had made more oil. "It is a miracle that a tiny drop of oil could last so long," said Judah. "And it is proof that God is still watching over and protecting our people, despite everything that the wicked Antiochus has tried to do. Now, hopefully, the flame in our temple will stay alight forever." The story of the miracle of the oil was passed down from generation to generation. And to show that they will always stay true to their faith, Jewish people even to this day hold a celebration which they call Hanukkah in memory of this great event. The word Hanukkah means dedication in Hebrew, and it takes place once a year. The celebration lasts 8 days and 8 nights, starting on the 25th day of the month of Kislev in the Hebrew calendar, which is in November or December in the standard calendar. On the first night of Hanukkah in Jewish homes, a menorah called a Hanukkah is brought out, and the shamash or servant candle plus 1 other candle are lit. On the second night, another candle is lit from the shamash, and so it goes on, adding 1 per night until all 9 are burning, 8 for the 8 days and nights of the miracle in the temple, plus 1 more to light them with. In homes, the candle holders are usually put in a window or near the front door, so people going by will see them and be reminded of the miracle of the oil. In some places, like hospitals where an open flame would be too dangerous, electric lights are used. Hanukkah is a time of joy, when families gather to share food and music, blessings and gifts. Fried foods in memory of the burning of the oil are traditional at this time. People eat latkes, which are pancakes made from potatoes and onions, sometimes served with apple sauce, and sufganiot, which are sweet donuts filled with jam. Children receive gifts or gelt, coins or chocolate coins, on each of the 8 days of Hanukkah, and gifts are also given to the poor. Around this time, Jewish children often play with a toy called a dreidel, similar to a spinning top. It has 4 sides, each of which has a Hebrew letter on it. The letters are Nun, Gimel, Hey and Shin, standing for Nes Gadol Hayasham, which means a great miracle happened there. All of this is done in memory of the very first Hanukkah. The end. Thank you for listening, and a happy Hanukkah.